Hello, guys. Welcome back. Lesson five. So today we are in this video. We're going to talk a little bit about underreporting, um, on calories, and what way that can affect us. Okay. Right. So now you probably know someone who says that I don't eat that much. Studies show that people tend to unknowingly underreport their calorie intake, and that's just a conscious thing that happens just because, um, the big thing is the accuracy on how you track. But they still can't. So I don't eat that much, but they still can't seem to lose weight or reduce their body fat levels, and this is often because people tend to unknowingly underreport it. And from the calorie lesson, we understand how over consuming calories without realizing it can have an impact on our progress. It can slow down fat loss, and in the worst case scenario, it can cause weight gain and fat gain. So the biggest thing we want to do here is that if we're on our fat loss journey, is that we want to constantly stay in that calorie deficit. Even if we have a day or two where we overeat, we make sure that we bank our calories otherwise. Um, and this obviously is going to lead to feelings of frustration if you're not making progress, because it's going to seem like you're doing everything right, but you're just not seeing the results. So let's take a look at this chart. Okay. So in this example, the dotted line is the amount of calories I need to maintain the weight that I'm currently at. Okay. So that's 2,500 calories a day. On the left hand side here, you'll see this is what I think I'm eating. And this includes the three main meals that are consumed that day, and it comes to about 2,000 calories, which leaves me in a 500 calorie deficit for the day, which is perfect for fat loss. And on the right hand side is what I actually ate. First of all, it includes all those main meals and the 2,000 calories that we have already reported. But what it doesn't include is extra calories from the peanut butter that I smothered on my toast. That was actually double the recommended serving size, which actually puts us a few extra calories. And it doesn't actually include the four quality streets that I grabbed at work and didn't track because they're only small, they'll not matter. But at about 55 calories each, they add a nice 200 calories plus onto my daily total. Then there's the mayo that I was dipping my sweet potato fries in over lunchtime. And at last, there's the cafe maca that I didn't even think I had any calories. Didn't even think I had any calories, but actually, it has 230 of them. So now you can see that instead of being in calorie deficit like I thought I was actually in a calorie surplus and gaining weight. This is an easy and really common mistake to make, but all of those little snacks, chocolates, sauces, drinks, forgotten foods, and changes in serving size, they all add calories to your daily intake. So what you thought was a calorie deficit was actually a calorie surplus, resulting in no progress. And this is why tracking your food intake as accurately as possible is so important when it comes to getting results. We just want to make sure you're really dialed in. So let's check out this video on the next slide. Okay, you'll enjoy this one.
I believe I must be one of those people who has a slow metabolism. I've tried every diet under the sun over the years, nothing seems to have worked. And so I just must conclude that is because of my metabolism.
We asked Debbie to have her metabolic rate checked.
To me, as a complete non-scientist, I understand it to be the rate at which my body burns calories. Is that right? I think it is.
Debbie is put under a ventilation hood 12 hours after her last meal. The researchers can now measure how fast her body burns up calories when it's at rest.
And I looked at the data from today's experiment. It's almost spot on what the predicted...
What it should be.
What it should be.
So I haven't got a slow metabolism.
No.
So I can't even blame it on that anymore.
No. I'm afraid not.
I'm normal, which is good to hear in one way, but not in another. I carried around this myth all my life that I might have something called a slow metabolism. It sounded so romantic, and clearly that's not the case for me and for many large people. It's just not true. We're normal.
Debbie agreed to keep a food diary and record all the food she ate over a 9-day period. The first 4 days with a video camera at the end of each day, and the second 5 days with a written food diary immediately after each meal. The idea is to find out if Debbie's eating more than the 2,000 calories a day recommended for the average woman of her age and height. But we're also going to spy on Debbie remotely. She's agreed to drink this special water, known as doubly labelled water. It's ingenious as it contains special isotope markers. By analysing her urine every day, scientists can work out not only how many calories Debbie burns, but remarkably, how many calories she has actually eaten.
Done. Hello, it's day one. This morning we had a massive fruit salad like every morning.
Every night, Debbie must record on video what she's eaten during the day.
This morning had fruit salad.
On day 5, Debbie switches to a written diary. Instead of waiting to the end of the day, she must write down everything she eats immediately after every meal. At the end of the 9 days, her food diary, video diary and urine samples are all sent to the Medical Research Council in Cambridge. By examining her urine, it's possible to calculate not only how many calories Debbie's burned in activity, but also how many calories she's actually eaten. In her diaries, Debbie records eating well under 2,000 calories a day.
When you did your diary on the video for us, about 1,100 calories. That's how many you've recorded that you've eaten.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah, OK.
But remember that doubly labelled water. It reveals that Debbie, in fact, ate 3,000 calories a day. That's nearly 2/3 of all her calories Debbie either didn't realise she was eating or had forgotten. Now, we then gave Debbie a written diary because research shows this can help us to be more thorough. But the results show she still forgot to record 43% of what she'd eaten.
I underreported. Wow. Wow, that's quite shocking, isn't it?
As you see in the video, the lady reported 1,100 calories a day, but actually she consumed 3,000, which is nearly 2,000 more calories than she reported. That's a massive difference. So contrary to nothing working, she actually just eating way more calories than she thought she was, and she wasn't in a calorie deficit. But this is a good thing. So because rather than being stuck with what she thought was a slow metabolism, there's actually something that can be done about it. She can start to accurately track her calorie intake and make sure she's in a calorie deficit to gradually lose body fat. This is a good example of why our third nutrition rule is to accurately track your food intake every day and get as close to your nutrition targets as you possibly can. Because that way we can make sure that you're eating the right amount of calories to reach your goal. Okay, that's lesson 5 done. We are over halfway there. So just keep on track, guys, and I'll see you in lesson 6.